Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So look, we all heard the news yesterday. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel officially requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. It practically broke the internet, right? It was insane. I mean, the news broke in the middle of the day, and there was so much speculation, so many different rumors leading up to it. And to be honest with you, it's a weird story. It really is. In the days leading up to the news, we had Adam Schefter of ESPN report that he felt that the 49ers were more than willing to, sign Deebo to the extension, right? Meet his terms. They weren't closing down their doors or anything like that, and that it was actually Deebo Samuel that put a halt to everything. Okay, so there wasn't really a reasoning behind it. That was just reported. And then of course we had the whole situation with Deebo Samuel's brother on social media basically saying, yeah, we're out of here. Deebo is not going to be in San Francisco. He's going to be requesting a trade. Came out of left field and definitely odd. Albert Breer then reported that Deebo Samuel didn't want to be the running back / wide receiver combo or hybrid that the 49ers famously put him in last season. And look, let's be honest, Samuel lit it up. Okay, it was so much fun to watch him rip apart defenses pretty much on a week-to-week basis. So hard to break down in open space. He has the quickness, he has the speed, short passing game. You could hand the football off to him, send him on end arounds. Such a versatile player, such a great chess piece for the West Coast offense. But the reasoning behind Deebo not wanting to play that position anymore is the wear and tear on his body, okay? And that's completely understandable in my book. We all know, as football fans, the overall career arc of running backs compared to other positions, it's typically shorter, so I get it. But then here's a major curveball about a tweet that Deebo Samuel put out, basically saying that it's reporters' jobs to make up stories and that only a couple people actually know the truth about what's happening in this entire situation. Okay, that tweet has since been deleted, and then Josina Anderson reported that the feeling within the Jets organization is that he actually won't be moved at all unless the 49ers get a king's ransom in return. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. It's confusing. It is strange. It is weird. Typically, if a player requests a trade, if an organization wants to move on from a player, fans, media, everybody kind of has an idea on why, but in this case, it's, it seems like the 49ers are willing to pay him. It just seems like there's something happening behind the scenes that we just don't know about right now. But let's just get down to it, right? Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about different trade scenarios for Deebo Samuel. Okay, we could list off all the team names like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers. As much as I hate to say it, the New England Patriots as well, we have to throw them into the mix, but I think the team that makes the most sense here, and I get that it kind of sounds a little bit like a homer statement, but I think the Jets. I think it's the Jets. The Jets make the most sense for Deebo Samuel for a couple of different reasons. Number one, he is going to be the premier option in the offense. Number two, the Jets have enough money to afford him. We have extra draft capital to trade, so we're not really mortgaging the future in the acquisition of Deebo Samuel, and he actually knows the coaching staff, he knows the system, and he fits it. Okay, so I think it makes I think Samuel checks so many different boxes, and it's almost like common sense. But here's the kicker. Okay, again, according to Josina Anderson, if we're talking about a king's ransom, people have different ideas of a king's ransom. Okay, you look at the Tyreek Hill trade. It's a lot of picks. That was a lot of picks. You look at the Devontae Adams trade, just a 1 and a 2. That's not that bad for arguably the best wide receiver in football. I think when it comes to Deebo Samuel, obviously the Jets have pick 4, pick 10, pick 35, pick 38, so 4 picks in the top 40, a high third round pick, and then of course 2 fourth round picks. I think we could probably package a couple of those middle round picks together to go land Deebo Samuel. I think, of course, there will be a bidding war. Teams like the Eagles, the Packers, the Saints all have multiple first round picks. So unfortunately, and by the way, the Chiefs also have multiple first round picks. I know it's been reported that the Chiefs might not be interested in acquiring Deebo Samuel, but I mean, at this point, anything could happen. I'm not ruling anything out. They also have 2 first round picks. So it's not like the Jets are in the minority here of being the only team with multiple ones to offer. So there will be a lot of competition. But look, I think if it comes down to multiple middle round picks, I would be okay with it. I think it starts getting a little sketchy for me when you start talking about pick 10 and more. I think at that point, I would back out, but that's just me. I think if you want to look at Deebo Samuel for pick 10 straight up, I think honestly it's tough. It really, really is. I'd probably go back and forth on it. I think right now my needle would be pointing towards keeping that 10th overall pick as opposed to acquiring Deebo. But when you look at it through the lens of, this wasn't our pick to begin with. It was Seattle's. You know, we had that other first round pick, which turned into AVT. So if you look at it just through that lens, like, it's just an extra draft pick, and you know, it came from Seattle, it's not really that big of a deal, then you just make the trade every day, right? It's like you're getting Deebo Samuel for free, or really for Jamal Adams, essentially. But when you start looking at like the future and really building this team from the ground up and everything like that, that's where the 10th pick is an extremely valuable asset, because it's not like you're just getting Deebo Samuel for the 10th pick. You're getting Deebo Samuel for the 10th pick, but you're also re-signing him to a mega deal. Okay, nothing under $20 million annually. And of course, the 2022 cap, so the cap hit for this season won't be that high, because technically he's still on his rookie deal. But following that season, he's going to be, I would say, I mean, the number that's being thrown around right now is $25 million annually. That's a lot of money. I think for some fans, it would be worth it, right, to move off of the 10th overall pick, to move off of middle round picks, to acquire Deebo Samuel. Why? Because he's a proven NFL star. He's ascending. He's young. He fits the system. All this production that Samuel has had over the past couple of seasons has been in the same exact offense. We don't know who's going to be on the board at pick number 10. We don't know if this player will translate to the NFL. We don't know exactly. The NFL draft is not a perfect science. Unfortunately, I wish it was, but it's not. At the end of the day, there's still so many question marks, so many unknowns regarding the NFL draft. And then on the other hand, right, on the other side of the coin, we're going to have fans that would rather keep the picks. You know, yeah, Deebo Samuel is an awesome player. Metcalf's an awesome player. AJ Brown's an awesome player. All these guys are middle round picks anyway, right? The Jets, again, have 4 picks in the top 40. That's huge. That's big time. Let's put the odds in our favor here. Let's really rebuild this team, speed up the rebuild, replenish this team, add depth, add talent at positions of need, and essentially have more lottery tickets to scratch off. Okay, so again, the silver lining here, whether the Jets acquire Deebo Samuel, whether the Jets hang on to their draft picks, whatever happens, whatever side of the fence that you stand on, you're right. Both sides have valid points, and the New York Jets will be a better team next season. They will be in a better position post-draft, no matter what happens. And I think that's really, really important when we take a step back and look at it from a macro perspective. So will Deebo Samuel get moved? I'm not so sure. I feel like it almost feels like a Jamal Adams situation here, where the player just wants to get out. And there's just been so many different things. The trade request aside, the thing with his brother, everything like that, it doesn't seem like the 49ers have any sort of intention to part ways with Deebo Samuel. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm going to be watching this storyline like a hawk over these next couple of days, really, until the start of the NFL draft. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.